Hello, hello, and a massive welcome back to Flow and Talk Studio. If you are an English learner or, just a curious mind, maybe someone looking for a little bit of inspiration today, you are in exactly the right place. I'm so excited to be here with you.
And I am very happy to be here too. Welcome, everyone. It's really great to be back in the studio.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, before we dive into, the deep end of the pool today,
hmm
I have to ask, how are you doing? And I don't mean the polite, I'm fine, thank you answer, the one we all learned in the textbooks. I mean, how are you really?
Oh, wow. Jumping right in with the big questions. I like it. Honestly, I'm doing well, but I think I'm in that classic state of sort of happily busy,
Oh, I know that state very well.
Yeah, lots of projects, lots of reading, but I'm managing to keep my head above water. How about you?
I am fantastic. I had a double espresso this morning, so right now I feel like I'm ready to conquer the world. Or, at least conquer this deep dive.
Okay, fair enough.
But you should ask me again at 4 p.m. I might be singing a very different song by then.
The caffeine crash is real. It is definitely real.
It is very real. And actually, speaking of energy levels, I have a question for you. If you were a smartphone right now, like an iPhone or an Android, what percentage would your battery be at?
Ooh, that is a dangerous question. Let me think. I think I'm at a solid, maybe 65%. I'm functioning well. The screen is bright, but I definitely have some background apps running that are, draining the power. What about you?
I'm operating on that low power mode energy. You know when the battery icon turns yellow?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
That's me. I'm functioning, but I am definitely looking for a charger.
That is a very, very relatable feeling. And honestly, it is the perfect introduction to what we are talking about today.
It really is. We have a really special deep dive prepared where you're going to be analyzing a fascinating source from the English Leap podcast, and it features two hosts named Anna and Jake. And I have to say, this isn't our typical topic.
No, not at all.
Usually we are here talking about, tech trends or history or global economics.
True. But today we are going internal. We are looking at a very honest, very human conversation about health, burnout, and learning to treat yourself better.
Exactly. And the mission for today is sort of two-sided. It's like a two-for-one deal. On one side, we are going to extract some serious life wisdom about how to stop fighting with your body. We're talking about moving beyond burnout.
And on the other side, because so many of you listening are English learners, we are going to unpack some incredible vocabulary. The source material is just full of idioms, phrasal verbs, and these really descriptive words that are perfect for describing feelings, stress, and self-care.
So if you are listening to this and you're at a B1 or a B2 level, or hey, maybe even a strong A2, don't worry. We are going to keep the English 100% natural, but at a pace that respects your brain. We want you to understand, not just listen.
Precisely. We want to avoid that feeling of being overwhelmed, which, ironically, is exactly what the source material is all about.
It really is.
Yeah.
So let's start with a scenario. I want everyone listening to just picture this for a second. Have you ever looked in the mirror in the morning? Maybe it's a Tuesday. You didn't sleep well, and you thought, wow, I look terrible.
Oh, absolutely. Who hasn't?
Right. Like maybe your skin looks a bit gray, or your eyes are puffy, or your hair is just doing something completely crazy. And your immediate thought is, oh, what is wrong with me? I'm ugly today.
I think everyone, literally every single person has had that moment. You look in the mirror and you immediately start criticizing yourself. It's almost like automatic.
Right. You start listing all the problems. Well, this is exactly where the source material starts. Anna, one of the hosts in the source, tells this story about having a toxic relationship with her phone until 2 in the morning.
Ah, the classic 2.0 a.m. scroll. It happens to the best of us. You tell yourself you're just going to check one email.
Just one thing.
And 2 hours later, you are watching videos of cats or reading news about a country you don't even live in.
Exactly. So she wakes up late, she's annoyed with herself, she goes to the mirror, and she is just ready to attack. She has this script already in her head. She calls it the critical report.
The critical report. Wow. That sounds like something a really bad boss gives you at work.
It totally does. Her internal voice is just going, you look bad. Why did you eat that pizza last night?
Yeah.
Oh, you should be more disciplined. Look at your skin. I mean, it's brutal.
That is the internal critic, right? We all have one. It's that voice that just generates a report of everything we do wrong. But what is interesting in the source, and this is really the key starting point for our deep dive, is that Anna has an epiphany. She has this sudden realization.
Yes, this is the good part. She stops the attack. She looks at herself and she realizes, wait a minute, I don't feel ugly. I feel tired.
And that distinction is huge. Ugly is a judgment on your appearance. It suggests that something is fundamentally wrong with you. But tired is a feeling. It's a state of being. It's temporary.
And she uses a specific word to describe this feeling. I absolutely love this word. We need to spend some time on this. She says she felt frazzled.
Frazzled. It is such a fun word to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Frazzled.
It sounds like bacon frying in a pan. That sizzle. Frazzle.
That's actually a great connection. So frazzled is a combination of feelings. It's not just tired. Tired means you want to sleep. Frazzled is tired, plus stressed, plus messy.
Plus messy. Yes, that's the key part, I think.
It is. Think of a rope. If you pull a rope too hard or you rub it against a rock, the ends start to come apart, right? They get all messy and loose. That's a frayed rope. Frazzled comes from that same idea. It means you are worn out. You are literally coming apart at the ends.
The visual Anna uses in the source is hilarious. She says she felt like her thoughts were like little pieces of hair going in every direction.
Or my favorite, like her hair was doing its own experiment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the perfect definition of frazzled. It's when you feel like you are electrically charged with stress, but at the same time, you're exhausted. Like a wire that has been used too much and it's starting to spark.
And this brings us to the first major lesson from the source. When Anna realized she was frazzled, not ugly, she completely changed her perspective. She realized that the mirror wasn't an enemy. The mirror was actually a messenger.
A messenger.
I like that.
She says her body was like a small friend standing in front of her. Imagine a small child sort of tugging on your shirt and saying, "Hey, I'm doing my best, but I'm so tired. Can we please just slow down?"
That is such a tender image because usually we look at our bodies like they are machines that are broken.
Right.
You know, why isn't this machine working? I need to fix it with coffee or makeup or something.
Yes, we try to force the machine to keep working. But if you view your body as a small friend who is just doing their best, your reaction completely changes. You don't scream at a tired friend. You help them. You nurture them. But, even when we get that signal, that wake-up call from the mirror, we usually ignore it. Why do we do that? Why are we so bad at listening to that little friend?
Well, the source material introduces a concept that I think explains this perfectly. They call it good boy or good girl mode.
Good girl mode. Oh, this sounds like something I have been guilty of many, many times.
It's so common, especially for people who really want to do a good job in life. It's the state of being where your body is literally screaming, "No, stop, please rest." But your mouth is automatically saying yes.
Yes to the extra meeting. Yes to the dinner party. Yes to helping a friend move furniture even though your back is already hurting.
Exactly. It's a form of people-pleasing. You want to be the good girl or the good boy who never disappoints anyone. And in the source, they use this brilliant metaphor to explain the internal conflict inside our heads when we are in this mode.
Ooh, what is it?
They describe it as a battle between a tired employee and a strict boss.
Ooh, this is good. I love a good metaphor. So, okay, let's role play this a little bit. The body is the tired employee.
Yes. So imagine the tired employee. Your body is sitting at a desk. There are papers everywhere. The employee is just exhausted, maybe has a headache. And they timidly raise a hand and say, "Excuse me, boss, can we maybe sit down for 5 minutes? My legs hurt. I haven't even eaten lunch yet."
Okay, I can see that. And the brain is the strict boss.
Right. And the strict boss, your brain just slams a hand on the table, bam, and says, "No, we have standards in this office. We do not sit. We only excel. Now get back to work. We have emails to send."
Oh, wow. That is painfully relatable.
Yeah.
I think I have that exact boss living in my head completely rent-free.
We all do. It's that voice that says productivity is more important than well-being. It's the voice that says resting is for lazy people. But the source material points out that this constant pressure leads to a very specific physical state. They use the word depleted.
Depleted. Okay, that sounds more serious than just tired.
It is much more serious. Being tired is one thing. You can sleep for 8 hours and usually recover from being tired. But being depleted means you are empty, totally and utterly empty.
Like a resource that is just gone. Like a water tank with no water left in it.
Exactly. The analogy they use in the source is a phone on 1% battery with no charger in sight.
1% battery. Ugh. You know that panic you feel when your phone is on 1% and the screen goes dim and you are just praying it doesn't shut down before you can plug it in?
That is how so many of us are walking around every single day. We are operating on 1%. And when you are depleted, but you are still in good girl mode, you're still trying to please that strict boss, you start to experience an idiom they mention.
What's that?
You feel like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Wow, that is such a heavy image. It comes from the Greek myth of Atlas, right? The giant who has to hold up the globe.
Yes, exactly. And in modern life, it means feeling responsible for absolutely everything. You feel responsible for your work problems, your family issues, your friends' drama, maybe even global politics. You feel like if you stop working for even a second, everything will just collapse.
And because you feel that responsibility, you just keep taking on more tasks. You
Yeah.
pile on more work.
Pile on. That's a great phrasal verb. Let's make sure our listeners really get that one.
Good idea. So to pile on means to add to a collection or a stack. So imagine someone is already carrying a really heavy backpack, and you just keep adding more rocks to it. You're piling on the pressure. You're making it heavier.
Exactly. And the tragedy, as the source points out, is that to carry this impossible weight, we have to ignore our bodies, we have to push aside the signals, we push aside the headaches, the tight shoulders, the anxiety. We just pretend they aren't happening.
And the irony is, as Anna and Jake mentioned, your body is the only friend that is with you from the very first day of your life until the very last day.
It is the longest relationship you will ever have. Think about it.
Wow.
Partners, friends, coworkers, they can come and go, but your body is there for the whole ride.
And yet we treat it like a bad employee that we're constantly trying to discipline. It's actually heartbreaking when you think about it that way.
It is. And usually when we finally realize we are treating ourselves badly, when we finally hit that wall of exhaustion, we try to fix it. And this is a really critical point in this deep dive, we usually try to fix it in completely the wrong way.
Yes. This brings us to section 3 of our discussion. The myth of the Monday morning plan.
The dreaded plan, yes.
Now, wait a minute. I have to play devil's advocate here for a second. I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, but plans are good. If I'm a mess, if I'm eating pizza at midnight and scrolling on my phone, I need a plan.
That is a very logical, very common reaction.
All right, so to tell myself, okay, Monday is coming, a new week, a new me. On Monday, I will wake up at 5 a.m. I will run 10 kilometers. I will eat only organic kale. I will learn 3 languages before breakfast. No sugar, no fun, just perfection. Why is that bad? That sounds like discipline.
It sounds like discipline, I agree, but let me ask you a question. Does it ever actually work?
Well, usually I can do it on Monday, maybe even Tuesday. But by Wednesday afternoon, I am usually crying and eating a cookie.
Exactly. And that is why it is bad. The expert in the source says this isn't a plan, it is a fantasy. It is like asking a person who is completely exhausted, someone on 1% battery, to suddenly become a superhero overnight.
It's setting yourself up to fail, isn't it?
Completely. Because real life happens. Monday morning arrives, maybe there's traffic, maybe your Wi-Fi is broken, maybe you just overslept by 20 minutes because, you were tired. And what happens to the perfect plan?
The plan just explodes. And because I missed the 5:00 a.m. alarm, that strict boss in my head immediately says, see, you failed. You are lazy. You can't do it. So why even bother? And then I give up completely until the next Monday.
This is what they call being stuck in a loop.
Stuck in a loop, like a song that keeps repeating the same line over and over and over again.
Exactly. It's a cycle. You have the strict plan, which leads to a mistake, which leads to shame, which leads to giving up, and then you repeat the whole thing next week. You are just running around in circles. The source material makes a really insightful point here.
What's that?
The problem isn't the person. The problem isn't that you are weak or lazy. The problem is the plan itself.
The plan is too heavy.
Yeah.
The plan is the problem.
Yes. They use this really funny metaphor. It's like putting on 5 heavy winter coats and then asking, why am I so hot? Why am I sweating so much?
That is hilarious. Why is walking so hard? Oh, wait, maybe because I'm wearing 5 coats. So, okay, what is the solution? If the strict plan doesn't work, what do we do? Do we just do nothing and stay a mess?
No, you don't do nothing. You need to scale back.
Scale back. Okay, that is a very useful phrasal verb.
It is. It means to make things smaller, easier, or lighter. It doesn't mean giving up. It just means adjusting the intensity so that it is manageable. Instead of running 10 kilometers, maybe you just walk around the block. You scale back so you don't run yourself into the ground.
Run yourself into the ground. Another great idiom. It means working so hard that you break. It has this image of movement downward into the earth, like you are literally burying yourself with work.
Exactly. So we need to stop trying to be superheroes and start being, well, friends to ourselves. This leads us to the core paradigm shift of the episode. We need to move from a 30-day challenge mindset to a relationship mindset.
I love this distinction because a challenge has an end date, right? A 30-day diet, it ends on day 30.
Right. And then what happens? You go back to normal. Think about it in terms of a friendship. You would never say to your best friend, hey, I promise to be really nice to you for 30 days. I'll listen to you. I'll bring you coffee. But on day 31, yeah, I'm going to ignore you and be rude again.
That would be a terrible friendship.
Yeah.
Sorry, the 30-day nice challenge is over. Now I'm going to scream at you. It's absurd.
Exactly. But that is how we treat our health. We diet strictly for 30 days and then go right back to chaos. A real relationship, a healthy one, is resilient.
Resilient. That is such a powerful word.
It means something that can withstand problems and bounce back. It doesn't break easily. If you have a fight with a friend, a good friendship doesn't just end. You apologize, you talk, and you move on. That is a resilient relationship. We want a relationship with our body that is steady and kind, not so dramatic.
But right now, for many people, that relationship is lopsided. That is a word from the source that really stuck with me.
Lopsided. Yes. Lopsided means unbalanced or heavier on one side. You can picture a seesaw on a playground. If a giant sits on one side and a tiny mouse sits on the other, it is lopsided.
And in our lives, the work and criticism side is the giant, and the rest and kindness side is the mouse.
Precisely. All criticism, no kindness, it's lopsided. So the goal is to introduce a new concept into this relationship. Nurturing.
Nurturing. It's a soft word. It sounds like something a gardener does with their plants.
That's a perfect association. Nurturing means caring for something in a warm, gentle way to help it grow, like watering a plant or making soup for a sick friend. The hosts in the source ask, what if you applied that nurturing energy to yourself? Instead of treating life like a military boot camp, what if you treated it like a garden?
I think we could all use a little less boot camp and a little more garden in our lives. I like the idea of growing rather than just marching.
Too. A lot more.
But this brings us to the practical part. We've talked about the philosophy, we've talked about all these great metaphors, but the source material gives us 3 specific habits. And I love these because they are soft rules. They're not prison rules.
Yes, exactly. Let's look at habit number 1. They call it the plate peace rule.
The plate peace rule, as in peace on your dinner plate, no more war with your food.
Exactly. The problem with most diets is that they are based on subtraction. It's a war against certain foods. No bread, no sugar, no joy, just lettuce.
And we all know how that ends. It ends with a pizza delivery at 11 p.m. because you were just starving.
And guilt. So much guilt. So the plate peace rule flips the script. Instead of subtracting, you focus on adding. You add one good thing to your plate.
Just one thing. That's
Just one. You keep your normal lunch. Maybe it's a sandwich you love,
Yeah.
but you add a handful of salad on the side. Or you add a glass of water. Or you add some slices of cucumber.
Wait, so I can still eat the sandwich. I don't have to throw it away and feel sad.
You eat the sandwich. The goal isn't to punish yourself. The goal is to nourish yourself. It's a completely different energy.
I really like this psychology. Because when you take things away, when you subtract, you feel deprived. You feel like a victim. But when you add something, it feels like a gift. It's an act of kindness.
It is. And they frame it as doing a favor for future me. You think to yourself, future Anna will be so happy if I eat this green thing because she will have more energy this afternoon. It makes the habit sustainable.
Sustainable. That is a key vocabulary word for today, I think.
It is. It means you can keep doing it for a long time without going crazy or feeling extreme. It is something that lasts. If a plan isn't sustainable, it's not really a plan. It's just temporary torture.
Temporary torture. That should be the official name of most diets. Okay, let's move to habit number 2. This one is my favorite because it is so incredibly simple. It is the water plus walk rule.
The tiny spell, as they call it in the source.
It sounds like magic. But I have to ask, is it really enough? The rule is, drink 1 glass of water and then walk for 8 to 10 minutes. That feels, well, it feels too easy.
It does feel easy, especially if you are used to that go hard or go home mentality. But that is the entire point. It isn't about physical transformation. You aren't going to get six-pack abs from walking for 8 minutes.
So what is the point then?
The point is mental. It is for when you feel overloaded.
Overloaded. That's another good word. It's like when a truck has too much cargo and the tires are starting to look flat.
Or, as the source describes it, when your brain has 27 tabs open in your internet browser and they are all playing different music at the same time.
Oh, I hate that. Where's the music coming from? Close the tabs. That is my brain by 3:00 p.m. every single day.
Exactly. When you are overloaded, movement is soothing.
Soothing. That means calming in a really gentle way, like a lullaby or a warm bath.
Yes. The expert explains that the movement acts as a reset button for the mind. It allows you to step away from the screens, the emails, the stress, and just be in your body for 10 minutes. It's a way to break the stress cycle.
And they emphasize that the location doesn't matter, right? You don't need a beautiful forest or a beach.
No, absolutely not. You can walk in your hallway. You can walk around your office parking lot. They call it the office parking walk of peace.
I love that, the office parking walk of peace. It implies that you are escaping the chaos for just a moment. You are just walking in circles on the asphalt, but it's your time.
And I like that they suggest using the podcast itself as a walking friend. You're not alone. You're just hanging out with us. It makes the walk feel less like exercise and more like a nice little break.
Okay, so we have plate peace, which is about adding good things. We have water plus walk, the mental reset button. What is habit number 3?
Habit number 3 is the sleep respect rule.
Respect. That is a really interesting word choice. Not sleep discipline, but sleep respect.
It goes right back to the idea of the body as a friend. You wouldn't invite a friend over to your house and then just ignore them while you play on your phone for 2 hours. But we do that to our sleep all the time. The source describes sleep as the night repair team.
I'm picturing little construction workers in hard hats inside my brain, fixing things while I dream.
That is basically what happens biologically. They are cleaning out toxins, they are repairing cells. It's crucial work. But we treat sleep like it's a bonus. We think, oh, if I finish everything on my to-do list, maybe I will get the gift of sleep.
But here's my problem, and I bet a lot of listeners have this too. I suffer from what they call revenge bedtime procrastination.
Oh, that is a fancy term. Tell me about it.
It's when you stay up late on purpose, just scrolling on your phone because you feel like you didn't get any free time during the day. It feels like revenge. Take that daytime. I'm going to stay awake and reclaim my time.
That is such a real feeling. You feel like if you go to sleep, you are admitting defeat. You are letting the work win the day.
Exactly. So how do I respect sleep when I feel like sleep is stealing my only free time?
The rule here is very, very gentle. You don't have to go to bed at 9:00 p.m. The rule is simply put the phone away just 15 minutes earlier than you normally would.
Only 15 minutes.
Just 15. And you use that time to do something that makes you feel anchored.
Anchored, like a boat being held in place by an anchor.
Yes. Being anchored means feeling steady and safe, held in place so you don't drift away into anxiety. When you are doom scrolling on TikTok, you are drifting out to sea. You aren't happy, you are just numb.
That is so true. I'm not even enjoying the videos. I'm just zombie watching them. My eyes are glazed over.
Exactly. So an anchoring activity brings you back to yourself. They give some lovely examples in the source. My favorite is grandpa mode.
Grandpa mode. Okay, you have to explain this.
It means putting on soft, comfortable clothes, maybe an ugly t-shirt, turning down the lights, and doing something very boring and calm, like reading a paper book. No screens, no drama, just grandpa mode.
It sounds so cozy. Or just washing your face slowly, taking a few deep breaths. Anything that tells your body the day is officially over. You are safe now.
Because if you don't do that, if you stay on your phone, the day just drags on.
Drag on. That's a phrasal verb that means something continues for too long and it feels heavy or slow.
Like a really bad movie that never ends. If you don't respect sleep, your day drags on into the night. You're not really awake, but you're not properly asleep either. You're just existing in the blue light of the screen.
So the sleep respect rule is about reclaiming the end of your day in a healthier way. It's saying, I am important enough to rest.
Exactly. Now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. The source material brings up a very heavy topic towards the end of the discussion.
Guilt.
Guilt. That horrible feeling that you haven't done enough.
This is the voice that comes at bedtime, right? You were lazy today. You didn't finish everything on your list. You don't deserve to sleep yet.
It pushes people to their breaking point.
Breaking point. That's the moment when you just snap, when you feel like you can't take it anymore.
And here is the most important mantra from the entire deep dive. If you remember only one thing from today, remember this. Rest is not a reward. Rest is a need.
I need to tattoo that on my forehead. Rest is not a reward. I think we are all taught, maybe in school or just by society, that you have to earn your rest. You have to finish all your homework before you can play.
That is the good boy, good girl programming. But you are not a robot. You are a biological creature. You don't have to earn the right to breathe, do you? You don't have to earn the right to drink water. Rest is the same. It is a biological necessity.
That is a hard lesson to unlearn, though.
It is. But sometimes you just need to cut yourself some slack.
Cut yourself some slack. This is a fantastic idiom. Can we define it for everyone?
To cut someone some slack means to give them freedom or forgiveness. Imagine a rope that is pulled very, very tight. If you cut some slack, you loosen the rope. You give it some room to move.
So cutting yourself some slack means stop being so hard on yourself. Be more forgiving. Just loosen the rope a little bit.
Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend. If your best friend came to you and said, I am so exhausted, I feel completely frazzled, would you scream at them? Would you say, you are lazy, get back to work?
No, of course not. I would say, oh my gosh, sit down right now. Let me get you a blanket. Take a break. I'm proud of you for just surviving the day.
We are so much nicer to our friends than we are to ourselves. It is time to change that.
It really is. Now, we did promise our listeners a bit of a language workout today. We have covered a lot of ground psychology, biology, metaphors. I think it is time for the word tour.
The word tour, I love this part. It's a great recap.
Let's do a rapid-fire review of the key vocabulary we have unpacked today.
Yeah.
I'll say the word, and I want you to give us the deep dive definition. Put it in context for us. Are you ready?
I was born ready. Let's do it.
Okay, first word, autopilot.
Autopilot. This comes from aviation, from airplanes, right? The plane flies itself. In our context, it means doing things without thinking, just by habit. Like eating a whole bag of chips while watching TV and not even realizing it, or saying yes to more work without checking your energy levels. You are flying without a pilot.
Great. Next phrase, run yourself into the ground.
Run yourself into the ground. This is the signature move of the strict boss. It means pushing yourself so hardworking, stressing, doing everything that you physically or mentally break. You are running until you collapse into the ground.
Perfect. Next one, pile on.
Pile on. This means to keep adding more and more responsibilities on top of someone who is already carrying a heavy load. It's adding more rocks to that already heavy backpack. It's making a bad situation even heavier.
Push aside.
Push aside. To ignore feelings or physical signals, your body says, I have a headache, and you push that feeling aside like you'd move a piece of paper off your desk so you can keep working. You pretend the signal isn't there.
And the last one, which is the solution to pushing aside, tune back into.
Tune back into, to start listening again. It's like tuning an old radio to find the clear station. You stop ignoring the static and you tune back into your body to hear what it actually needs. Oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, my shoulders are tight. Oh, I'm tired. That is tuning in.
I love it. Tune back into your body. That is really the theme of the day, isn't it?
It really is.
So let's recap. We have covered the ugly versus tired epiphany. We have talked about the good girl mode trap. We have debunked the myth of the crazy Monday plan. And we have given you 3 soft, gentle habits: plate peace, water plus walk, and sleep respect.
That's a lot of wisdom packed into one deep dive.
It is. But as we wrap up, we want to leave you with one final thought, a challenge. Actually, no, not a challenge. We agreed challenges are bad. A promise.
Yes, a gentle promise. The source material asks listeners to make one small, soft promise. Say to yourself, today, I will do one kind thing for my body.
Just one. It doesn't have to be big. It could be drinking that glass of water. It could be leaving your phone in the other room for 20 minutes while you read. It could be just lying on the floor for 10 minutes and doing absolutely nothing.
And here's the most important part. What if you mess up tomorrow? What if you eat the pizza and you scroll until 2 in the morning?
You don't need a punishment. You don't need the strict boss to come out screaming. You just need another small promise. You cut yourself some slack and try again.
Exactly. You don't need a perfect body. You just need a softer way to live in the one you have.
That is beautiful. A softer way to live. I think that is what we are all looking for deep down.
I agree.
And remember, if you enjoyed this discussion, the source material came from the English Leap podcast with Anna and Jake. They have a great community, so go check them out, like, and subscribe if you want more of this gentle English learning content.
Absolutely. And from us here at Fluent Talk Studio, we're sending you a soft hug through your headphones right now.
A virtual, non-frazzled hug.
Yes, the best kind.
Take care of your body like it is your friend, because it is the best and truest friend you will ever have. Thank you so much for listening to The Deep Dive.
Thank you, everyone. Keep learning and keep resting.
See you next time.
Bye.